Hello everyone, I'm Azure Silver, and I know what you're thinking. Why am I doing this so soon? That is a very good question. The reason I did the other breakdowns for my other performances, that was because, I had just thought of it, and it just happened to be 6 months later, so I was like, oh yeah, this seems very efficient. This time, it's because now I have the knowledge, I have the concept of what I want to break down, and it's still fresh in my head because I did it, not that long ago. So, decided to do it. So, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down who's on first for everything you might not have known about the performance. Again, same as every other breakdown, which you can find in the drama or the dramatic arts playlist I have down in the description below. If you don't know, these are inspired by new Rockstars. Go check them out. Link in the description below as well. And I'm going to be breaking down who's on first. I don't have a thumbnail on me, so I'll just put a picture of it on screen right now, but yeah, go check it out for yourself. Nevertheless, allow me to inform you about what you don't know about my first performance in my return to drama. And also, I'm doing one very, very soon. I'm doing another performance very soon, so I want to get this out of the way. That way, I can keep my mind focused on everything else and don't get the details confused. Nevertheless, here we go. Alright, already? Me doing that's like a little, it's not a very good, but it's a callback to Ric Flair, where I don't actually know what he did, but I thought it was something like that, so that's just my little callback to Ric Flair. I wanted to do something, I just didn't know what else to do.
Well, Costello, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager.
As you can see, we were both a little stressed, given the fact that she was stuttering her first line, despite during practices we had the lines nailed. Yeah. That was also improvised.
He gave me a job as coach, as long as you're on the team.
We didn't plan that out. So she just kind of nudged me on the shoulder, and while she was doing it, in my head I was like, what are you doing? What is happening? And I just kind of went with it. And you can kind of see, I don't do anything really that dramatic. I'm kind of just like, okay, yeah, it happened, sure, whatever. But that's because we didn't plan for it. She kind of improvised on the spot without telling me, so I didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, Abad, if you're going to be a coach...
Wait, hold on, sorry. I should probably...
He gave me a job as coach, as long as you're on the team.
Well, Abad, if you're going to be a coach, you must know the players' names.
Okay, so I don't know if you caught that. I started off talking in an accent. Not intentionally, I didn't do that any other time. But the first few words that I say in my actual performance, and it just so happens that I start with an accent, and no one really caught that, thank God. I managed to change it very quickly because I knew I wouldn't have kept it the whole time, given the fact that it wasn't planned to begin with. So thank God that I did that. I don't know why I keep my microphone up, but thank God that I did that. But I start off with an accent accidentally.
Names.
Certainly do.
Well, I've never met them, so you have to tell me their names, and they'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, well, sure, but strange as may sound, the baseball players these days have very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names, like Dizzy Dean and
His brother Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
His French cousin?
French.
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean. I see. Okay, well, on the bases, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I said who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You're going to be coach too.
Yeah.
And you don't know your fellas' names.
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fella's name.
Who?
The guy.
Who?
As you can see, I messed up my line there because, you guys, for the most part, won't know the script. So I'll have to tell you when I messed up a line, and it's actually much easier now because I remember everything. But that first line, it's supposed to go, the fella's name. And they go, who? And I say, the guy on first. And then, who? The first baseman. Who? The guy playing first base. but I only said the guy. I didn't say the guy on first. So I messed up my line. And you're going to see that because I hesitate to say my next line because my brain's like, no, you did it wrong. But yeah, I messed up that line.
The first baseman.
You see, I struggled. I struggled. Here, let me see. You might catch it this time. But yeah, if you didn't catch it, I struggle to say next line because I messed up the first line. And that's just how my brain works.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
Hesitation. Also, that was Gabriel's finger. So thank you to Gabriel, cameraman.
The guy playing first base.
Who's on first?
That's what I'm asking you.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
I haven't looked at the script since I did this, so I actually have no idea whether I said that line right or not. I probably could check right now, but I'm lazy, so I can either confirm or deny whether I said that right.
Yes.
Well, go ahead, tell me, right?
And the reason I hesitated for that line was because that line is my arch nemesis. Isaiah knows it, she knows it, I knew it. Every time we practiced, that was the one line out of everything. It wasn't any of the confusing lines that repeat, wasn't any of the questions. That was the one line that I always forgot, no matter which day it was, no matter what time we practiced, no matter how many times we ran through it. That one line always escaped me, and I have no idea why. But it did.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes!
Oh, that's not in my ears.
Okay. When you have a first baseman, do you have first baseman?
Okay, that was clever improvisation that I came up with on the spot. Because the line is, let me just get the script. Just give me a second. But that was improvisation. And you're going to notice I am actually very capable of improvising lines in the thing. Because even if you didn't know the script, I bet half of you, wouldn't even recognize that was a mistake. Which is not, I don't usually toot my own horn, but that's just something that I had to call out. Okay. Let us see. We only had to do 3 pages of it, by the way, so if you're wondering why it's so very short, it's because it's technically incomplete from the get-go. But the line I'm looking for is not there. The line I'm actually supposed to be saying is, look, you got a first baseman, but I messed it up and then kind of brought it back to a certain degree that, fixed it, you know?
Okay. When you have a first baseman, do you have first baseman?
Yeah, see? So it's a completely different thing, but I improvised it actually semi-well. So, yeah, props to me, I suppose.
Certainly.
Okay. Who's playing first?
Yes.
When you pay the first baseman off every month,
Who
who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
Look, all I'm trying to figure out is the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money?
Every dollar of it. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it for him.
Whose wife?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
When you sign the first baseman to a contract, how does he sign his name to the contract?
Okay, that one was also a mess up, but that one isn't as bad a mess up because, honestly, the actual line for that part is, look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name to the contract? So it's not too far off. That one, I didn't need any improvisation, but whatever.
Who?
The guy.
Who? See,
that's where you're supposed to say the guy. Also, I never realized, I didn't even notice this when I did it. I didn't even do that intentionally, but I gave that slight bit of sass. I went back a little bit. I gave a little bit of sass when I said the guy, and I didn't even do that. I didn't even recognize it. It took me watching it back to be like, oh my god, I did that.
He signed his name to the contract.
Who?
The guy.
The guy. I didn't even notice I did that.
How does he sign it?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
What's the fellow's name on first base?
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Okay, well, don't switch the players over.
Alright, sorry, just adjusting the volume. It's getting very loud in my ears. And as you know, I have 20/20 hearing. I don't need to ruin my hearing now.
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Okay, well, don't switch the players over.
Okay, her saying it like that, never did it before. That was changed on the spot as well.
Round.
I am not changing nobody.
And that was improvised because she had never done that before in any of the plays. So I had to I was thinking in my head okay, I gotta match that. So I was like, oh, how could you say that? But obviously just not implying that with just body gestures, not vocal cords. So me being taken aback by that was improvised too.
Well, calm down, buddy.
I'm asking you who's on first.
Yes. All right.
That's not improvised. I was actually, if there's one thing I was acutely aware about, is that everyone was going to love the fact that my props were my clothing pieces. And that was done intentionally. And honestly, I wasn't wrong.
What's the fellow's name on first?
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know!
He's on first.
Jesus Christ, I forgot the yelling. I apologize if this comes out horrible in video, which is why I just have to watch the regular video to, know it. But, wow. Maybe it's just my headphones, I don't know. We'll have to see when I edit it.
Third. We're not talking about him. Back to first.
How did I get to third?
You mentioned his name.
If I mention...
Okay, that wasn't planned. We timed that so perfectly together, but that was not planned at all.
Name of the third baseman. Who did I say is playing third?
Who is on first?
What is on first?
What is on second?
I don't know!
He's on third.
There I go again. Back on third. Will you stay on third and don't go off?
All right. What do you want to know?
Well, now who's on third?
Why do you insist on putting who on third?
What am I putting on third?
What is on second?
I'm not... Am I? No, I'm not asking you who's on second. I'm asking you who's on first.
That was also improvised, and I think you could tell if there was any one part to this entire thing that you could tell was improvised, it was that part. The line I'm actually supposed to be asking is towards the end here. So we go, there I go again, back on third, we stand on third base and go off. Alright, what do you want to know? Now who's playing third base? Why do you insist on putting who on third base? What am I putting on third? And I think that was the last decent line I said, because then Michaela is supposed to say, no, what is on second? And then I'm supposed to say, you don't want who on second? Which I do eventually end up saying, but I forgot my line at the moment, my mind blanked, or it didn't even blank. I knew what I was supposed to say, but I accidentally ended up starting off by saying the wrong thing. So I stopped myself, and then I countered my own self. So I got pretty lucky. I'm good with coming up with things on the spot. That's why people used to get very annoyed with me, because I could just make up puns right away. Byron would know, but yeah, no, this is my improvisation at its finest. This is just an example. This just goes to show you, my steadfast speed thinking that I have. Not to sound like the Flash or anything, or sound in any way cool, but I am good at thinking of things on the spot, so...
Who is
Not... Am I? No, I'm not asking you who's on second. I'm asking you who's on first.
Who?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to say, you don't want who on second, but I ended up asking a question that she ends up
Is
answering
on
good.
first?
You don't want who on second?
Yeah, okay, so there you go. Now I say the actual line, because I knew what I was supposed to say and didn't say it. So then I go back and I say the actual line. So I did fix it, and because it's actually... This script kind of helped me in a way with that. I gotta give credit to the script, because the way it's set up and the way the words are scripted, they bounce off one another. So if you can kind of just get stuck doing a loop of asking the same questions over, and no one would notice. Unless you do it for an obscenely long time, or you make it obvious. No one really knows that you're doing it in a loop, because every line of dialogue is so similar. So methodically similar, to the extent that it's just who would know, The only reason everyone knew in a sense that I messed up, if anyone knew that I messed up, was because everyone else had the same script. But yeah. Unfortunately, no one called me out on that. I was very disappointed. No one likes to critique me. I wish I was insulted more. I demand to be insulted, and I never get what I want. But nevertheless, yeah.
No! Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base.
And then I slammed the hat. Initially, actually, just to put out there, initially I was supposed to like kick something. Because I did it as a joke the first time, and everyone, like Isaiah and Michaela, they were laughing. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe I can incorporate this into my script. And so that was the point. The point is I was supposed to be very interactive, because I wasn't going to have a prop. That was the point of my Castello, my adaptation of Castello. I didn't have a prop. And I wasn't going to have a prop, because the prop would ruin my character. My prop is my clothing, my person. And so I had to use that to the best of my ability. And it worked very well, as you can see. But the general idea is that I was going to kick something. And I didn't end up kicking anything. Initially I was going to kick the stump, and then I was going to kick like a water bottle, and then I was going to kick a hat. My hat. None of that ended up working. So... it's not that it didn't end up working, it just wasn't efficient. So I just slammed my thing on I slammed my hat on the floor and walk away. So nevertheless, I think I missed one thing. When I go back again on third.
All right.
Just give me a second, I gotta find the thing.
What's the fellow's name on first?
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him. Back to first.
How do I get to third?
You mentioned his name.
If I mention the name of the third baseman, who would I say is playing third?
Who is on first?
What is on first?
What is on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go again. Back.
Okay, right there. I forgot to call that out. I accidentally kicked the plant. And I knew that I kicked the plant, which is why you see me immediately move back. But I was trying to move around, that way I'm not standing in the same space. I mean, that's kind of the point, because we're just doing our own adaptation of who's on first. But everyone else was kind of standing still. I wanted to have at least a little bit of mobility in mind, which is where, when I'm going back to third base and I'm going over that, like, oh my god, I'm back on third. Will you stay on third? That was when I was going to get all my mobility in, because that was the line that just made the most sense to move. And so that got shut down right away because I kicked the plant. I was just like, crap. I didn't want to go too off stage, which clearly I had a lot of space to, but I kicked the plant, and that was not scripted. Nevertheless, that was 3 minutes 58 seconds. Not my longest presentation by far, but definitely the shortest. I'm in a few days' time, I will have done sketch comedy, which will be 2 different performances, but both leading into the same thing. So it will still be in one video, but it's 2 different performances. It'll make sense when you see it, but nevertheless, this was my shortest one, but it was my introduction back into drama after a long time being off. Gotta admit, it's like my own mental purgatory. But that's just my own doing, so nevertheless, this has been that. And this has been a somehow 20-minute breakdown because I just love explaining things so much. Just to break down my costume for a second, before we go off, just so you guys have every detail I could possibly give you. My hat, this is one of the few baseball caps I have. I didn't really go checking too much. I just thought of, because Michaela said she was going to wear something black and white, so that's kind of my whole primary color scheme. So the hat was black and white. I was like, okay, yeah, this will work. It's from MCon. And then you got this shirt. For those of you who did watch it, you'll know that this is the shirt I wore with my Two-Face suit. This was the shirt I wore under it. Also found at Valley Village. Really nice. I liked it. And it's also black and white, which you can't really tell here. But there's that. Jeans, just because it looked kind of professional. The shoes, I wear those shoes all the time. But those just seem kind of professional. Like, Costello, he's not, he's not a nobody. he dressed nice in the initial skit and everything. So obviously I was going to make him a little dressed nice. He's just not a baseball player. And then my jacket was just to kind of wrap the whole thing up together. Initially, I was actually going to wear the jacket I used when I was doing my Quicksilver cosplay type thing, because of sportiness and all that. But this one definitely went better with the shirt and all that, hence why I used it. Nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ezra Silver. Like, comment, subscribe for more of this, more gamer vlogs, and whatever else comes. I'll see you all very, very soon. Later, guys.